For some, you may be too much. For some, you may not be quite enough. For some, you may be almost enough. But it's like for you, for yourself, you are always enough. And that's how you have to look at that and remember that when you say that phrase, I'm enough. It's saying that I may not be everyone's cup of tea. I may not fit into every space. Every opportunity may not be for me. It doesn't mean I'm not enough. It doesn't mean I'm not worthy. I'm still enough for me. It's just that that's not for me. So, like I said, if all you're going to do is tell yourself negative things about yourself, your opinion on those negative things is enough. And so, you don't need nobody else to tell you nothing else negative about you because you're doing it already. And your opinion, your negative opinions on yourself is enough. And so, honestly, it is because if somebody tries to counter it and say, like you're saying, I'm just so ugly. And they're like, no, you're beautiful. It's hard for you to believe that because it's like your opinion that you're ugly is enough. And so it's just like if you feel like you're beautiful, you're pretty, you're gorgeous, you're sexy, you the shit. You tell me I'm ugly, I'm like, okay, that's your opinion. I don't think that because my positive opinion about me, I've made it enough.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute?
Hey, girlfriend. Welcome back to the Hey Girlfriend podcast. I'm your host, mindset and intuitive coach, Kindall D. Back with another episode. So, today we're going to be talking about what does I am enough really mean? Now, I already recently did one. I think it's the podcast before last. It may be a little bit back, maybe two. But I did a podcast on believing, not feeling good enough. That's what I did it on. I did one on not feeling good enough, and I kind of touched on some things about how to feel good enough and whatnot. But I realized looking back, I kind of want to go deeper into what does I am enough really mean, because I feel like this phrase has been cliche for some time now, and you hear it all the time, and you hear it as an affirmation, and you may hear people say it. You may even say it, or you may want to feel like that. It's an affirmation you're trying to actually believe about yourself, I should say. For me, it helps to understand the depth of something. The depth. Depth? I always have a hard time with that word. For me, it helps to understand exactly what it means, exactly where it comes from, so I can embody it more and not just repeat it or say it. What does it mean? So, I'm going to get into that, a few definitions and stuff, and I'm going to hopefully explain it in a way that helps you to better implement it in your life. Because I find that repeating affirmations only work when you truly believe them. It doesn't work if you're trying to say it repeatedly just because you feel like you're supposed to and you're trying your hardest to believe what you're saying, but you just don't. Sometimes it helps to understand it more, the affirmations you're saying. Sometimes it helps to better understand yourself, better understand why you're having a hard time with that certain affirmation, why you don't believe it, where is it coming from. Like if you say I'm enough but you don't really feel like you are, it's going to be hard to believe it, especially if you don't know what I am enough truly means. It's just like I can sit here all day long and say I am enough, I am enough, but in the back of my head that little voice is still going to be saying, oh no you're not, or I'm not really enough, I'm unworthy. But why do I feel like this? Because you don't understand really what it means, where it's coming from. You're just saying it because maybe someone told you to say it, or it's an affirmation you found. So let's get into that, because I want everyone to feel this sense of confidence that I am enough embodies. Like, y'all, I don't want to say it's gonna get deep, but it's gonna be like, I don't know, because it came to me one day what it meant. I said it on something. No, I was describing something, and then I was like, that's what I am enough means. That's what it is. Because it's like I've always heard it, but I never really thought about it. Because I'm like, I don't know, it's just cliche. I never thought about it. But as I started thinking more about it, I'm like, that's all it means. And so, what the gist of it to me means is that you are valuing your own opinion of you. Meaning, your opinion of you is enough. And that's what brought me to it, because I was describing something on one of my Instagram captions. And I was saying something like, believe what you feel about you. Like, what you think about you is enough. Meaning, you don't need anyone else to validate you. If you think you the shit, if you think you look good, if you think you're beautiful, if you think you're whatever good thing in this world, if you feel like you are, you are. Because it's just like, if you think that you're not good enough and you believe that, that's what it's going to be. You see how that works? So if you can believe the negative, the bad things, and your opinion is enough to validate the bad things about you, your opinion is also enough to validate the good things about you. And so essentially what it is that I am enough doesn't mean that I am perfect or I am without flaws or that any of those things. It's basically what I found it to mean, and what helped me to implement it better in my life is really accepting me, flaws and all. Accepting myself, like, wholeheartedly. Accepting myself for my quirks. Accepting myself for my weaknesses. Everything. Like, I was coaching someone. Excuse me. I was coaching someone. Well, I am coaching someone still. And they feel a way about their mental health. Now, if some of you've been listening to me for some time, you know that I struggle with my mental health, and I kind of still do. I have ADHD. I get overwhelmed very easily, very easily. And I'm starting to learn about myself as I get older. And I've had to learn to implement certain things in my life. And honestly, I'm proud of myself for that. Like, I know my weaknesses and I know how to cater to myself and what I need. I'm not just out here trying to cover up and trying to act like nothing's wrong with me, or trying to fight it, or is constantly wearing myself thin and out, knowing that I can't operate like that. And so I was telling her, she's worried, like, when dating, how do I tell guys about my mental health? What if they don't accept me? This and that. And I understand the fear of having that. But I find that when you feel shame around your weaknesses and around who you are, you convey it that way to others. And they look at it as like, okay, so this is a problem because you're making it a problem. Instead of using it, it's like, sort of like a strength that you know yourself and that you're happy about who you are. You're proud of yourself and you're okay with you. If you don't feel like you're okay with you, that's going to draw the red flag to them, like, okay, this person's not very confident. I'm confident in my weaknesses. I'm confident in my flaws. I'm confident that I'm not perfect and I still love me. I even love the challenges that I face, the new things that come about. I even love when I'm triggered and I'm working through it, because I know it's all me and I'm growing. It's just the fact of it being of me. That's what being enough really means. It's like, it's you. Like, there's no greater thing than that, because it's just you. It's of you. And it's like, so when I was explaining to her, it's like, own it. Own that you have a weakness right there, a weak spot, and accept it. And don't be ashamed of it. If someone can accept that, then they're not really for you. And that's really their loss. That's really on them. Well, I don't want to say it's really their loss, because people have their things that they feel they can handle and can't handle. And it's okay. Not everyone's for you, and you're not for everyone. And so I've learned that self-love is right behind self-acceptance, or they go hand in hand. And so the more I accepted that, I can't do certain things with ADHD, or I have, I guess, special needs. And it's like I looked at myself as I'm just unique. Like, I'm me. And this is how I have to operate. Like, and I've learned that about me. And it's like, I am enough, even in my weaknesses, even in my shortcomings, even in my quirks, the things I can't do, all of that. So it's total radical acceptance of yourself. And it's like, once you get to that point, you won't struggle so much with your identity and who you are, and even loving yourself. Like, it starts there. And so what I want you to do is start honoring your own opinion of yourself. Like, check in with you. What do you feel about you? What do you feel about your own opinion of yourself? What do you feel about your mental health? What do you feel about your body? What do you feel about how you look in something? Like, because what you think of you is enough. And sometimes I feel like we don't feel like our self-validation is enough, because we may have not been taught to honor our own self-validation, or we may have not had anyone to really pour into us to make us feel good about ourselves. And so all we know is how to self-depreciate, basically, because that's what we were taught. And it's hard to get there, but it's like you have to start first honoring and valuing your own opinion, and you'll slowly get there. Like, instead of asking someone else for advice on something, sometimes go to you. Instead of, even as simple as, like, if you are getting ready to go out and you put on an outfit and you start thinking, oh, they're going to make fun of me in this, or, oh, this is not this, or, oh, or asking your friends, what does this look like? This okay? I mean, it's okay sometimes. I get it every now and then. You be like, which one look better, this or that? I get it sometimes. But if every time you like self-doubting yourself, or you are not checking in with what you feel and how you feel about something at all, then you don't believe that you are enough and that your opinion is enough. And you need someone else to validate it so that you can feel like, okay, I got someone, like tag team. I got someone on my team that feels the same way about me and about this and whatever as I do. And so I hate to tell you this, but you're not always going to get the validation you're looking for. You're not always going to have someone to side with you, to agree with you, to have the same opinion as you, or to even understand you. You're not always going to have that. Now, you will in some places, in some people, and that's great. But it's like I've learned to not expect that, and to more so lean on what I feel about me and myself. And once I start kind of like looking at myself in the mirror, like literally and figuratively, like started looking at myself and consulting myself, I should say, consulting me about things, my whole life changed. My whole life changed, because I started looking at me and looking at my body. That was where I started. It's like, okay, it ain't that bad. Okay, so what? I got stretch marks. Okay, I'm human. Okay, and so what? I got, my skin. It's okay. My skin is not the best looking, but I'm working on it. Or so what? I started really looking at me and valuing my opinion of myself. Even stuff that I wanted to do with life, or even goals that I have, or even big ideas I have, anything dealing with me, I consulted myself, because I am actually embodying and believing I am enough. And so that's where you start. It's like you have to believe that all around, whatever you feel, whatever you think, whatever your opinion is, it's enough. Because it's coming of you. It's enough. As simple as that. And so, I guess I want to also talk about how to, when you say the affirmation, how to really start implementing it in your life. And so, in one sense, if you look at everyone else, you will find that for some, you may be too much. For some, you may not be quite enough. For some, you may be almost enough. But it's like for you, for yourself, you are always enough. And that's how you have to look at that and remember that when you say that phrase, I'm enough. It's saying that I may not be everyone's cup of tea. I may not fit into every space. Every opportunity may not be for me. It doesn't mean I'm not enough. It doesn't mean I'm not worthy. I'm still enough for me. It's just that that's not for me. And so that's what kind of helped me to believe that phrase more as well, is understanding that for certain different people, they're not going to value me as much as I probably value me, or as I do value me. And that's where I think it catches people off guard, because it's like, I have all this worth. I feel this good about myself. I know I'm the shit. I know I'm this, that. And then what breaks that is when you come around someone that doesn't treat you like that, or doesn't see you like that, or doesn't pour into you how you think they should, because you're confused. Like, but if I'm a good enough person, why aren't you, if I'm enough, why aren't you treating me like I am? And that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with that person. And not even saying that that person is a bad person. It has everything to do with their ability to actually, be there for you like you need. And also, we value different things. And so, it's just like, for example, a Birkin bag. Very valuable. I say this analogy a lot, but it fits here. A Birkin bag. So, I don't value Birkin bags because I don't care for the bag. It's like $40,000. That's the cheapest price probably for one. I don't care for it, and it's just okay looking. So it's like, yeah, you expensive, but I don't want you. Now, does it mean the Birkin bag is going to lose its value? No. Does it mean the Birkin bag is going to be in its feelings because, Kindall doesn't want me? No, the Birkin bag ain't caring that much about me or my money, and if I like them or not. I'm like, okay, next. We got a celebrity over here that's been waiting on me. Whatever, you can go on about your business. That's you get what I'm saying. And so, when you look at it like that, it can kind of hurt you, because you're like, damn, no one values me. They're not valuing me like I value me. But oh well. Don't you also value certain things over others or not? Or certain, it's like, when I say things, yeah, it's easier said than done with that. But when it comes to people, it's not that you're not valuing them. It's that what they have to offer doesn't really fit you or what you're looking for. Just like what you have to offer may not fit what someone is quite looking for. It doesn't mean you lose your value. It just means that they don't find what you have to offer valuable to them and where they're at in their lives. And that's all it means. You're still enough. And you're still enough because you are enough always, always for you. Okay? And so when you are saying that I am enough, just remember it's meaning more so directly to my opinion of myself, how I feel about myself is enough. Like what I feel and think about me is enough. I don't need anyone else to back it up. If I feel like I am, like the things I said before, I'm not going to go back to the list. I feel like I'm repeating myself. But y'all get it. I hope y'all are getting it. So I just wanted to bring a little clarity to this phrase, because I don't feel like I talked about it really, about what it really means. So I want you to start thinking of some opinions of yourself. It could be opinions of yourself that you would like to believe or you're trying to believe. It can be, let me see. It could be anything. I can't think of any example off the top of my head. But, like, for example, for me and my weight. So, I was just telling a friend today. She shared a video of her using this new equipment tool. And she was like, "Now here my fat self. I'm gonna show here a video of my fat self showing y'all how it works." And at first I kind of laughed to myself, but then I was like, "She don't even look fat in this picture. She look in the video. She look good." I'm like, she didn't quit beating herself up. And so we talked and talked about other stuff. Then I came back around at the end. I was like, I forgot to mention, you look good in the video. Don't do that to yourself. I'm practicing not talking about myself like that too. And so I thought I would share it. And we had a good conversation back and forth about it. And I was like, we really be our own worst critic. We really be beating ourselves up more. And we really see ourselves in the worst light sometimes. I said, for example, I shared a picture from like 2016. And when I was in LA for my birthday. And I was like, y'all, I just look back on my life years ago and how I looked. I was much smaller then, by the way. And I was looking at the picture like, I remember at that time in my life thinking that I was so fat and that I was so uncomfortable with my body. I had some confidence, but I was still uncomfortable with my body, if that makes sense. Like, I was at the beginning when I first met my husband. And so I had some confidence, but it was just like with my body, I still had issues accepting it. And back then, I thought that I was just so much fatter than him. And I'm looking back at the pictures like, I'm right there with him. We're around the same size. I was just a little thick. I was not that fat. I'm fat now. But but I've come to accept my body and I'm loving it in any shape, size, even while I'm working on it. And so I told her, I said, it just makes me sad that I look back over my life and I didn't appreciate my body. I said, I'm changing it now and I'm starting to appreciate it more. Even while I'm working on it, I have to appreciate it and change the opinion about myself and how I look and not get into that self-depreciating mode to where I'm like, oh, I'm just so fat and oh, this and that. Like, it's okay to want to be better and lose weight. It's okay. But it's not okay to down yourself as you get there. Motivate yourself still and love your body because once you get there to that weight loss, I mean, you can still have body dysmorphia. I did. I lost a lot of weight back in the day when I competed for a pageant and I still thought I was fat. Like, it was so many times I just thought it wasn't enough ever. Like, I always thought that no matter what I did with my weight, body, it was just never enough. And it makes me a little sad because I'm like, I did that to myself. And I'm trying not to tear up because I got these little under eye things to remove dark circles. I don't want them sliding on my face because I'm trying to make sure these things work. But I'm tearing up because it's like, I did that to myself. I hate that I hated on myself so bad back then. And no, we can't do that. And so now I'm choosing to change the opinion about me. And I love me, my body, and I feel like my opinion about that is enough. Not everyone else is going to agree that my rolls look good or that my stomach looks good with all the cellulite or that my arms are not everyone is going to agree that my arms aren't big or don't look good or whatever. Not everyone is going to agree, but it's what I feel about it. And that's all that matters. No one else has to agree on that because not everyone else will. It's just like, whatever. I said it's this and this is what it is. And so you have to stand firm in it. That's what I am enough means. Just standing firm and believing that whatever you tell yourself is enough. And so, like I said, if all you're going to do is tell yourself negative things about yourself, your opinion on those negative things is enough. And so you don't need nobody else to tell you nothing else negative about you because you're doing it already. And your opinion, your negative opinions on yourself is enough. And so, honestly, it is because if somebody tries to counter it and say, like you're saying, I'm just so ugly. And they're like, no, you're beautiful. It's hard for you to believe that because it's like your opinion that you're ugly is enough. And so it's just like if you feel like you're beautiful, you're pretty, you're gorgeous, you're sexy, you the shit. If you feel like that, you look in the mirror or you just whatever. I look at my own selfies, my pictures, like I'm a little self-absorbed now. And it's like, oh well, not to the fact that I, not to the point that I'm trying to think. Not to the point that it's rude, I guess I would say. But to the point that you can't tell me shit about me. You tell me I'm ugly, I'm like, okay, that's your opinion. I don't think that because my positive opinion about me, I've made it enough. And so I hope that kind of brings it together for you. Listen to it again because I want you to hear it again and again and realize how you may have been beating yourself up and being your own worst critic, being your own worst enemy. Because I am enough can be positive or negative. Because all of it starts and ends with you. If you want to believe something negative about you, okay, believe it. It's going to be true because you believe it. If you want to be a little, just a little delusional and believe something good about you, oh, it's going to be true because it's coming from you and you feel it and that's what you believe. That's what you believe. Okay? So, all in all, to me, whenever I hear I'm enough, what I'm really hearing is that how I feel about me and my opinion of me is enough. My opinion, I value it that much and it is enough. I accept me, flaws and all, because I am enough. I accept me wholeheartedly because I can do that and I am enough. It's taking everyone else out the equation, taking everyone else's opinion out the equation, taking everyone else that may feel like you're not quite enough or you're too much or you do too much or you this and that, taking everyone else's opinion out of it, and you are focusing in and honing in on your opinion of you. Well, I feel I'm this way and I am making that enough. My opinion of me is enough today. Okay? So, that's all I had to say on that. I hope I made myself clear, girlfriends. So go out there and start thinking of some better opinions about you and making that enough. Like, be a little delusional with the opinions of yourself. I think my body is shaped like a Coke bottle. I look at myself like, I like how my hip dip right here. I like how this look right. I really do. And it may not be to nobody else, but I'm like, I like it. I'm working on it. I'm working on my body a little bit and my health, but I look in the mirror and I stretch out and, look at the parts I like and I'm like, well, I like it. And that's that on that. And that's where confidence comes from too. Valuing your own opinion, okay? So think of a little bit of a delusional opinions of yourself. Think of some things that are positive about yourself. And start telling yourself that and believing that that opinion of you is enough and start reiterating it to yourself. Remember I said that I am enough is valuing your own opinion of yourself and realizing that the opinion of yourself is enough. The opinion of yourself is enough. One more time. The opinion of yourself is enough. The opinion of myself, what I feel about myself, is enough. Your like is just extra. Your hate is just, okay, not welcomed here. It's whatever. That's how you feel. All right, that ain't how I feel, so you can get on somewhere. Okay? So that's all I got for this podcast episode, girlfriends. As always, you can check out my Patreon. It's patreon.com/I've been that girl. Link below. You can go there for bonus podcast content. I have over 100 episodes on there. And I may have a bonus one on this. Whenever something comes to me, I jump on there and I get it out. And usually it's a few more personal things on there as well that I won't put in public. And I also do coaching on there. Do coaching through the messenger and coaching phone calls a month, all of that. I got all of that on there, all the details on there. If you don't follow me already, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is I've Been That Girl Too. Everything linked below, so check it out. My books and everything linked below as well. And y'all, I gotta get close to this. I gotta say this. I have been really working on Toxic X Chronicles Sebastian. Y'all, I got the book cover, and I'm so excited. The book cover is like, I'm like, just smiling from ear to ear. Like, I really got to finish it now because I have to see this book cover, this book out in the world, because I've gotten better at making book covers. My first, if you looked at my first book, Toxic X Chronicles John, you looked at that book. The book cover was, I didn't know what I was doing on Amazon trying to post. I'm like, here we go. This would do. Because I was trying to make it a different way and I couldn't get it. But now I understand how it works. And I love the book cover. It's going to be different than the first one. I may even republish Toxic X Chronicles John just so I can put a similar book cover. Because I want the books to look similar. And yeah, so when people buy a set, it looks similar. So I'm thinking of that. But I'm working on Sebastian's. Now, I can't promise it's going to be out like next month or even in the month after that. But it is going to be this year. My aim is I'm working on a little every night because y'all working 9 to 5 now. I'm doing this podcast right now at 1:46 a.m. On Thursday. So that means I got to hear up and download it and get it uploaded before Thursday is over, which y'all do. Y'all see it. It'll be up. But I'm trying to do it all and find a time to relax and do other stuff too. But I'm working on my book a little every night. I am, and I'm loving how it's coming together. I'm trying to piece all the date and timelines together accurately, make it good, make it a little better than the last one with the grammar and all that. And I'm working on it. I promise. And it's 2 other books I want to put out this year. So we'll see how that go. But I'm excited. Toxic X Chronicles Sebastian has a book cover because it is coming along and it will be out this year. Okay, that's all I got. So, if you haven't read Toxic X Chronicles John, link below in my description. Link below. It's on affirmationsthatgirl.net. And I got like a journal book that people love, and I got like a quote book. So, check all that out. So, that's all I got. Until the next podcast episode, girlfriends. Peace out.